Hey there, my beautiful humans. My name is Skeff. Welcome to the channel. Let me hit you with that intro, and after that, we got a lot of stuff we got to talk about. What's up, you guys? My name is Skeff with Skeff's Comic Knowledge, and you haven't seen me for a hot minute because I've been busy. But first things first, man, shout out to Whatnot for sponsoring me. Link down below. Click that link. I do that full-time now. Also, shout out to Impressive Comic Pressing Services, who also is my new sponsor. Check out that link down below. One of the best in the biz at pressing. But go check those two links for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into it. I went to Fan Expo Chicago, and it was phenomenal. It was such a different experience because I actually went to the show with the purpose of hunting down back issue books. And at the previous conventions I've been at, it's more of like, all right, let's get to work. We got a lot of things we got to do. Let's get this Whatnot thing set up. But what I'm going to show you basically is like I have two massive hauls to show over and a couple smaller ones about what I picked up at the show and kind of like price point. Also, I want to talk about how I got some photos to add. I got to hang out with Jock and Mark Silvestri, and Ron Perlman gave me a hug, but more on that later. So the first haul I'm going to go over, I want to say they're a shop based out of Georgia. They were awesome. I want to say it's Dave's. If they're watching, comment down below so I can give you that plug. But they were just so nice to work with, and it was a fascinating show. There was like 25, 26 different comic vendors there. I held an Amazing Fantasy 15 in a 0.5 where I'm just like, should I buy this? And then I didn't. I put it back. I'm going to wait. And the opportunity to buy a lot of books was there. There were also a lot of books that were a little overpriced, obviously because the market is in flux right now. So trying to find that right dealer who will work out a deal with you where you can buy like at least inventory that I'm more familiar with at a good price was a little harder than I thought it would be. But once I found a couple good dealers, it was easy from there. They were great to work with. I looked at all the books, got some great deals. So without further ado, let me show off this haul first. This was from a shop based out of Georgia. I want to say they're like it was Dave's Card and Comic Shop. They were great though. All the stickers on the books are what the sticker price was, and then basically I think I got like 30-ish like percent off everything. I ended up spending I think a little over $1,000 with them total. But without further ado, let's start off with a couple big books. I went ahead and snagged 2 copies of beautiful Star Wars Tales number 24. That Darth Maul Palpatine photo variant. Excited to grab those. Basically, I was looking for inventory to kind of get graded and or pressed by Gary. Most of the stuff will be sent in for grading. I'll take a look at everything again. But most everything I picked up was in gradable shape, which I was very excited about. He also had a copy of Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi, number 0. Great Star Wars book. But the market is in such a fascinating spot right now where like finding these deals, once you find that right dealer who, and they had their setup was really cool. They had like, it was like 5 or 6 short boxes. It was like buy, I think it was like buy 2 or buy like 3 or more or 2 or more, then you get like 25% off sticker. And of course, me being a terrible person, I'm like, so how many do I got to buy to get like 35% off? Because I'm a terrible person. But it was a lot of fun. I started out, they're like, depends on how many books you get. I'm like, I will get a lot of books. One short box later of stuff, which we're going to go over now. I guess I got enough books, so it was good. They had this really hard to find Spider-Man Crane, where I tried to find some comps on it, but it was harder than I thought it would, because it was like a New York Comic Con variant, but there's like different variants of it, but it was still a beautiful Crane, easily gradable book. But guys, everything like was I got pretty much a little over 30% off on all the sticker pricing you see here. Got this beautiful connecting cover set, Snow Guards, 19 and 20 from Champions. Excited to get those. Nice high grade condition on those. And of course, they had when I said they had stacks of stuff, you'll see in a second. They had stacks of stuff. So they had obviously a couple copies of these. So I grabbed all these. It's a book that I'm very high on, especially at the price point of like, especially at like less than like $25 a piece. Yeah, I'm high on these. This is a series that's going to happen. It will happen. The series is good by itself, but picking those up, picking up anything Miles, like I said, I like Starling a lot of potential with that character, pick that up. But just books that I think once you get them graded have that good potential. I grabbed a couple copies of Silk number 1. This one my buddy Comic Andy will approve of. They did not have number They did not have number 4, or I think maybe number 4 wasn't, like, I didn't think it was in good enough condition. But they did have 1, 2, and 3 of The Last of Us, which I'm gonna trust in Anna that he's like, it's still a good pickup to get. So there's not many of those books out there, so those are good ones. Also, they're in high grade, so them coming back, hopefully in a nice high grade, will be a little nice on the cake. Also, I picked up obviously 2 of these. I knew these were a great deal when I saw them. These are Dave Filoni covers. So me being a big Ahsoka fan, me being a big Star Wars fan, me being a big Clone Wars fan, anytime I see a Dave Filoni cover, pick it up, especially at number 7. It's a beautiful book. They also had a copy of God Country. I think I picked up a couple of these. This is the 4th printing. And still, I know the She-Hulk thing is a fascinating thing, but it'll be interesting regardless. But this is still a good cover to pick up, the She-Hulk number 1 from that Marvel Now run. And these were incredible. Like, everything was in incredible condition. So I think this is a book to pick up if you're specking on anything Jamie Reyes Blue Beetle. I think this Infinite Crisis number 5. I think this is the book to get. I thought this Hulk number 1 cover was fire. Easy pickup there. And then the first of our mention of our Chris and Kylo Ren number 3. I feel that was an easy pickup. They were just really great to work with, and this was where they had me, where they let me go through some short boxes they didn't even put up yet. Like I found like, I don't know, 15 copies of like Star Wars 68, the yellow Boba Fett cover, and I'm just like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. They were like, you want to do a bulk price? I'm like, no, I can't. I still, it was one of the things, like, I wanted to do it, but I just didn't have enough funds to get it done. But it was really cool to see that. They just had some great inventory, because I found just a package of these. If you haven't read this, same guys that brought you Curse Words. Curse Words was a riot, a lot of fun there. Wizard. Just a great read. But they had just a pack of these. I'm like, yeah, I'll take this bulk pack. Sure, they weren't cover price. They're a little more than cover price, but still, I'm gonna take them regardless. The series is great. And then you stumble across another pack of goodies. You're like, oh, you have just another sealed pack of, I think there's like 7 copies of this. Yeah, I'll take that as well. It was just finding these modern little packs, little spec packs, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll take all this. And then I'm like, oh, is it gonna stop? I'm like, oh no, wait, I found 1 copy, Spider-Man Series 2, issue number 1, and I'm like, oh, what else I got in here? Then I find another little spec pack of just like, oh hey, here's just a whole packet of them, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll take all these. It was just super awesome. They had some great inventory. Everything was in great shape, great to work with. And then a few more books from them. It's like, I found the other 8 Billion Genies cover. I'm just like, yeah, I'll take cover A. Absolutely. I'll take all these cover A's. So, take all of those. And then the last few books that were on the wall was, I just thought this is a great cover. The Jeff Lemire Moon Knight number 1, the 3rd print. I just thought it was I enjoyed Moon Knight. I liked it a lot. And so I like that 3rd print's a good pickup. And I had 2 more copies of this God Country number 1 4th print. And then I had 3 total. So 3 total because I had 2 more copies of the Starlink. So that was my almost a short box I picked up from them. Great people. And I thought some great pickups and like a lot of stuff to go over, get graded, or sell now. Now, I forgot the gentleman's name. I'm terrible with, I'm just bad with names. You'll learn this. I'm very bad with names. But he's at every Midwest show I go to. I always stop by. It's him and his partner. They always have a nice booth. Usually a lot of moderns, which I'm a big fan of. They're always usually really good to work with, especially on deals, because they know that I drive hard bargains. So once again, I think this stack I got like 30% off sticker. These are a couple of cheap copies that I picked up. I'm like, I think these for, near cover price. I'm like, yes, High Republic is a series I'm very high on. I think it's gonna be great. I forgot to get this one signed, so to San Diego Comic-Con it goes with me, but I picked that up, Batman number 2. And then this one I forgot to get signed as well. Another Batman number 2 that I need to get signed as well at San Diego Comic-Con. And then they had a Catwoman number 40, Souza, 1 in 25. They actually had a couple of them. They were all clean. They're like nice gradable. 9, 8 contenders on there. They have the Catwoman 44, Souza. So she'll be, I think, at San Diego Comic-Con. So maybe some good potential to maybe get signed and graded, or just get graded now. This one I had a chance to look at, and this one I think is in a high grade. This is, as my buddy Justin, who's a big Scott Young fan, has gotten me on that Scott Young train over the past 4 years, and this was one. Anytime I see this cover for like, especially get a deal on it, I have to pick it up. This is one of my favorite, regardless of the movie, one of my favorite Scott Young covers. I just love this cover. So, also in a 9.8, very pricey. The one older book I picked up was, I think it's a clean copy too, Madam Web, ASM 210 newsstand. It looked like it'd be a 9. At the end of the day, I got it for a lot less than 90, and it's one of the things where like has potential, and I'm always good. Anything Spider-Man or Indies, I'm good with betting on. I'm good with betting on anything Spider-Man or Indies. And then I'm just picking this book up anytime I see it, or I can get it like at the end of the day, like close to that $20, $25 range. I'm always picking this book up. Always. That ASM 316 cover swipe, but Spider-Gwen number 25. And then I thought these were just some really clean, really clean hip-hop covers, which, as we know, very hard to find in high grade. But we had the Unstoppable Wasp number 1, which I thought was a stunning hip-hop cover. And this A-Force, which has gotten some heat. This A-Force has gotten some heat as well, so excited to pick that one up. But dang, I forgot, dude, if you're watching the video, please plug your name at the bottom so I know to give you some props. And then a short little one, shout out to Alliance Comics. They're new on the Whatnot game, and they started doing convention, so it's awesome to see them doing it. It was like Saturday. I found 2 slabs, 2 mile slabs. They gave me a deal on them. They gave me a deal. I got $300 for both of them, but at the end of the day, all new Spider-Man number 1, 9.4, and then a second print, 9.4. So a pair of 9.4s for $300. These are not to sell. I think the all new Spider-Man could get CPR'd, and then the second print it is a 9.4. But it's books that I'm happy to pick up because the market's down on them a little bit. Like the all new Spider-Man at one point, I think this book in 9/8 were close to like $1,600 or $1,700. Now they're right around that $1,200 range, but I still think it's such a lower print run, and there's not as many of these graded, where I still think these are a good value to pick up. So I'll be looking for these, not in 9/8, but preferably ungraded around that $200 range, and or like 9.2, 9.4, 9.6. My buddy Kami Andy did a interview with this awesome human named Beth the Chalk Girl right here, and I wanted to give her some blanks because I thought she'd crush it on some sketch covers with chalk. So I'm like, I want to do that. So I picked up some blanks there, but I also stumbled across like piles of moderns kind of in that like lower to mid range section. I'm like, I could probably get a deal on these. Now, granted, these I did not get a great of a deal on. The man, he drove a hard bargain, and I wanted them. I didn't want to just leave them there. So I picked up, I think I got these for like 20% off their sticker price, but I picked up a couple copies of Silk. I think there's like 12 here. So I got them for like I think it's like $23 ballpark. So I picked up a stack of Silks, and once again, anytime I can get this for like $20 to $25, I'm gonna pick them all up. Pick them all up. I think Spider-Gwen and Miles have the most future, so picking up all those anytime you see them for like 20, 25 range, especially they're in high grade, which those are. And then this is the book that I was very happy to run across. Because I have a couple 9/8s that I could probably move now because I can replace them. So I picked up a bunch of Throns because we know he's coming. And so pretty much for me it's like Indies, Spider-Mans, and Star Wars. It's pretty much where I'm at right now. So those are nice little in-between ones. And now it's time for my one last huge haul, which I spent like $1,400 at that booth. But I just want to thank you guys for everything. I truly appreciate this YouTube community. I'll never forget that this is where I started. This is what made all this happen. Me quitting my job, working full-time for Whatnot, like meeting new people, meeting new amazing humans, going to every show, setting up, so I'll never forget that. And that's why I want to let you guys know, like, I haven't forgotten that my YouTube following, my YouTube community, where you took the chance on me first. So I will never forget that, nor could I ever repay you. So the only thing I can do is guarantee just more videos more often, and just give you my thoughts and opinions. Like if you guys comment down below, let me know what types of videos you want to see from me. I'll pretty much just do my thoughts and opinions. I really don't have an agenda. I just want to talk about books, what I buy, what I sell, what I get graded, more about some pressing, more about working for Whatnot. Maybe do a video on why I left my job and decided to take the risk on comics full time. But it's been an amazing journey. The people I got to meet, it's incredible. So last little haul, and then I get to talk about Jock, Mark Silvestri, comic sketch art, and Ron Perlman giving me a hug. I'm so excited. Photos incoming to show proof. This is another booth where, Jesus, I forgot the name again. I'm the worst at this. We're going to start out with some $2 books and then work our way up from there. But I think I spent about $14 or like $14.50, so everything I think I got everything in for like almost like 30% off the sticker price of everything except for like the $2 books. They were just $2. I did find a couple copies of Grimm in his $2 book. Then he looked at me, then I looked at him, and he's like, those shouldn't have been in there. And I'm like, yep, I'm gonna take them. You know, it's one of the things, like, you feel a little bad, but you're like, no, I'm going to take that Grimm first print for $2. He's like, shoot. But he was good enough, honor the price, and I took him, and like, yeah, I'll take him. So a couple of the $2 books that I picked up. Now, not the best in condition, but I still think some good books to pick up for $2. Because I maybe got them for a little bit less, but regardless, yeah, I think I got them for a little bit less, because I bundled them all together. I got the Crane, Batman 77, Death of Alfred. I mean, I'm not going to say no to a Dinah Case Redneck #1. Stunning Red Hood Putri cover. A Descender #1 for $2. Like, my buddy Justin scored on these $2 boxes, like fire stuff. Picked up this really cool Invincible script book, $2, and then Invincible #0, $2. That's awesome. And then this, I think, has potential to Meet the Skrulls for that show, $2 there. Can't go wrong with a Grant Morrison, $2, Nameless #1. And then picked up a die number 2 for $2. And then this is a book, like, it had the $50 price tag, but it was in the $2 spot because it was part of a collection you just picked up. It's a series that really hasn't been talked about much of recently, but it's Brian Michael Bendis, original character. You never know, right? $2, it's worth the risk. And then these were $2. Sadly, there was not 1 or 2, but I guess someone left these behind. The foils. The set, if you have 1, 2, 3, and 4, the sets go for like $60, I think, at least last time I checked. So at the end of the day, getting half the set for $4 feels like a win. But I gotta admit, he was very well organized. Everything had a spot. He had things by artists. He had big wall books, which will show off in a second. And he had like $10, $20 indie section. So it was great. That's where I found those Grimms for $2 a piece, plus some DOTs for $2 a piece. These were all in the $10 section. Like I said, I think it's like, probably got them for like $6, $7 a piece. But we picked up, it's just a lot of modern stuff that I love getting. So Strange Academy, #3. Doyle Dramamu on the cover there. I mean, these were a great get. Strange Academy #1, the 3rd printing. Like, I'll pick up those all day. Not in the highest grade, but still an incredible cover there. Spider-Man Deadpool #1, John Tyler Christopher action figure. A little bit harder to find book, Silver Surfer #5, the 2nd printing. But it just had stacks of like modern keys. Now, at the end of the day, it's one of the things where like, yes, some people didn't like Miss Marvel. Some people it wasn't made for the demographic. But at the end of the day, I thought it was an entertaining way to introduce a new character. And there'll be more interesting characters to introduce along the line when they come out with more Miss Marvel. So he had these are #11 second prints. So yeah, Storm Ranger, Miss Marvel, some second prints. Can't go wrong with like, I think $6, $7 a piece on these. Now this was a mistake. I should have had Sway sign these. Swaby. Should have had Josh Swaby sign these when I was there. I didn't even realize it. But I had these that I picked up. I thought this is just a great Riri. I think Riri is going to be awesome. There could be some leaked images out there on the interwebs, but I think that cover, phenomenal by Swaby. And then just like you said, just some modern books at the end of the day. Get them for closer to cover is always a good thing. Because the cover price on these is $5, so if I'm paying $7, that's no big deal. But Bloodstone, thought that was a great book to pick up there. You have the cover A and the variant as well for the Bloodstone. So getting them in a bundle deal. Can't go wrong there. Oh, one more Storm Ranger. Another character that could be interesting, the Reptile. Got a couple of his covers as well on there. Now here we're going to get into the $20 pile. So a little bit nicer books, but some are like, you know, condition-wise affected by that price tag. So for this one, for example, the What If Peter Parker Became the Punisher. Great little what if on here, but this is the action figure cover. Like I said, I know about them with Marvel, but I still thought it was a great book to pick up, especially if you can get them for a deal. The number 31, the Hans cover, I thought they were stunning. And these are going for like $20 all day, so getting these up for less than what he had on there, always a good thing. Great read. If you ever read it, go check it out. A lot of potential there. Can't go wrong with picking up a set, a die, cover A, cover B, #1. This book, crazy interesting book here. I looked it over twice, and I think it has potential. This is a very expensive 9.8. This is an interesting book. I was just very happy to come across it. Black Hammer #1 Director's Cut. I think 9.8s in this book go for like 300 plus. This is a clean copy. There are just not many of these out there. I've been lucky enough to, this is my third one I found out in the wild. It's a book that's a big book in a 9.8, but it's an awesome book I was very happy to come across that one. I had to double check. That Black Hammer book, all right, 9.8 is still $230. So still, but $230, if I send it in, pre-screen, get it graded, have like $15 into it, grading costs me like $22, then I'm into the book for like $40, but if it comes back at 9.8, then potential, still potential. This is an interesting book that I did pick up, and I think that some of them need press, but I might pre-screen them. It's a book that I just think is epic, and I don't think it gets talked about enough. But Todd, so like, let me say some names out loud. Let me say these names out loud. We have Todd McFarlane, Robert Kirkman, Ryan Otley, and Greg Capullo. You're like, what is he talking about? For my avid readers, we're talking about Haunt #1. Now, granted, 9/8 are like 150, but it's a book that you could potentially get like, you know, triple or quadruple signed, and then you never know what happens. So I picked up a bunch of those, actually. So I picked up, he had a whole stack of these, and they're all like, I'll take all these. It's just one of the things where, like, you know, getting the autographs, or like maybe getting something signed by Otley, Capullo, maybe a McFarlane signature. And also, the books go for, like, you know, if I can pay $15 for them, you know, $14 to $50, get them graded 9/8 or 150. That's a good day. It's a good day. Oh, yeah, by the way, that Haunt train, not over. Yeah, I think there was like 20 copies of that Haunt book where I'm like, yeah, I'll take all of these. I'll take all of these. Because I'll be able to see, like, I'm not going to, like, that's the thing, of like, getting access to Otley and Capullo, I'll be able to get access to in more future shows. So, like, getting those double signed, super easy. But then getting, you know, maybe a Kirkman one day or something like that, that's more challenging. For the Paper Girls #1 coming out. Brian K. Vaughan, Saga for the win. These were an instant pickup as soon as I saw them. Strange Academy, #1 second prints. Just an absolutely phenomenal series, which they should do some sort of cartoon with. I didn't own this one, actually. Very surprising. I didn't own the High Republic Adventures #1. Adventures, 1:10 ratio. Nice little Darth Vader #1, first Black Chrysanthemum. Director's cut on here. Like I said, another, like, a lot of these books here were in great shape, where they're available for a pre-screen. And if they hit the pre-screen, they're in the, like, if they're 9/8, they're in that 130 to, like, 200 range, which at the end of the day is worth the risk. Had a couple of copies of these. Recount. These are just easy ones. They're in great shape. Now, this is a book that I was very happy to come across. This one I did not own. And they're not in the, like, they're not automatically 9/8, but they need a little bit of love. But I thought this was just a great cover. The Tom Holland, Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man #1 photo, Tom Holland variant. I thought that was an awesome win. The Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur #4, Devon Dinosaur. Picked up the Miles Morales #10. These I felt were great deals. The Miles Morales #13, Billy, second printings. I thought those were great deals on there. This book, I think, has a lot more potential, especially because it's rarity. But we have the second set, like Volume 2, Young Avengers #1, the second printing. Is that America Chavez Young Avengers? And then I'm always, I mean, James IV, always sucker to pick up a copy of Win #1. Web of Spider-Man #18, one of the older books I picked up. Just another What If Spider-Man the Other. It's an old book. Oh, not older, but like, you know, 2007, 2008. Happy to find one of the Jeff the Landshark copies of the West Coast Avengers. And then anytime someone has, we got some We Live First prints, I'm like, I'm going to pick these up for less than 20 a piece all day. So got those. And then those were the $10, $20 books, and then like some of the $2 ones. And then here are some of the bigger books. So we got the Amazing Fantasy #15. This is Amadeus Cho. This one I think is probably like a 9.2 to 9.4. So, but still got it for, you know, like less than sticker price, obviously. So I've had that 25 to 30% less than sticker. This one is the cheapest I've ever seen one, only because there is a huge little ding on the spine there. But regardless, I think it'd probably come back like an 8.5. And still, it's still worth more than that, or like less than what I paid. It's still, I think I paid like $100 for it, and it's worth more than that in 8.5. The 1 in 50 Iron Fist, the first Swordmaster Iron Fist, the ASM homage. Felt that was a easy 9.8 contender. This one is a book that I sold a long time ago. That if this one comes back at 9.8, I'm not gonna let it go this time. That the iconic, now controversial ASM J. Scott Campbell on there. And I just think Riri's going to be awesome. So another Invincible Iron Man #9. And one of the pricier Sozas is the Catwoman #43. So that was a haul for about $14, I think like $14.50, I think, for all that right there. So a lot of stuff, a lot of great potential for the pre-screens. But let's get into it. Let's talk about how I have some photos to upload. I'll see if I can upload them now while I'm talking over them, but we'll see. I don't know how to do all that. But I had the opportunity to work with Comic Sketch Art, and that was phenomenal. What a little random happenstance where I just came over and like I helped them out. I want to say helped them, but I was assisting nearby at like Orlando, and then at Dallas, and then at Denver. So they recognize the beard, right? They recognize the face, like, who's that loud bearded fool over there? I'm like, oh, I'm just here. Do you need any help, anything? And they were kind enough to just like, oh yeah, do you wanna help with like one of the streams? Like, have you met Jock before? And I'm like, no, I haven't met Jock. But I know of his work. I've been a big fan of his work, especially since I got into posters first. His Mondo posters are fire. Just go to eBay, just type in Mondo, and then Jock, and just mouth on floor of just like, these are incredible. One of his posters I've always wanted was the Thing poster. It cost me $1,000, more than a Tech 880 9.8, but I might do it one day. But I had the ability to hang out with him and just kind of be the kind of like person who yells at the phone at the comic sketch art booth at Fan Expo Chicago. It was a whirlwind of a time, but just hanging out with Jock, and then after that, I got the privilege of hanging out with Mark Silvestri after purchasing his original art. It was kind of nice. He was like, "Oh, you bought the ones from Orlando," and I was just like, "Oh, yes, sir, I did. Thank you for acknowledging that you remembered. It's so cool." So hanging out with Mark again, he's just great people. So I did that day one, and then after day one, they were like, "I did good." So I was able to come back. They had me back again. I was good. I didn't scare off Mark Silvestri, or I didn't make Jock feel weird or anything. I'm just a fan. And I enjoy, doing the Whatnot live stream. So just hanging out with them, let them draw, talk about what they're doing. And it was just a great overall experience. And at the end of it, I think Jock and I are like, it was just, it was a whirlwind. At the end of it, he had the opportunity, he came up, he was like, "I'm gonna teach you how to draw Batman tomorrow." And I'm like, "What? You're gonna squeeze me? I'm gonna get a one-on-one masterclass with one of like the top 3 people who draw Batman to teach this crazy bearded fool how to draw Batman?" I'm like, "Shut the front door. I cannot draw at all. As you know, I have no creative talent. I cannot write. I cannot draw. I do not sing. If you listen to any of my Whatnot shows, what I can do is I have a certain set of skills. Pretty much I just yell at phones. That's what I do very well." But we showed up that Sunday, and what a ride it was, because that Sunday morning was the only day the effing Ron Perlman was there at the show. And I, as a massive like science fiction fan, you had Alien, the Hellboy, obviously, but then you had like His Enemy at the Gate, The Sons of Anarchy, Beauty and the Beast. He was in Drive. He was in Harry Potter. I mean, he has been in Pacific. He's been in everything. So I had the opportunity of getting to meet him, sign my Hellboy comic, and just thanking him. And what an experience it was. The reason he initiated the hug. He's like, "Can I give you a hug?" What happened was that such a fan, I wanted, like, meeting Ron Perlman for me was like for me, it's like the Godfather, right? I need to meet him, pay my respects to the man. This is my tithing to you, Mr. Perlman. Thank you for your years of everything you've done for me. This is my token of appreciation, my tithe to you. So what I did was I found out what his favorite cigars were. I did some homework, because he's changed it over the past, 5-7 years, and what now, because he doesn't do it as much anymore now, doctor said. But it was that thing where I did the homework. I found the box of cigars, or at least the brand and style of cigars he smoked that were his favorites. So I went to a local cigar place, and I'm like, "Hello, I don't smoke cigars. I'm buying cigars from somebody else. Help me." But thankfully, I had a list of exactly what I needed size-wise, because apparently you have to measure by length, and then there's the cigar and how much tobacco's in. It was interesting to learn. I learned some stuff. So I bought a sealed box of his favorite cigars. Brought him to him Sunday, and I go, "Mr. Perlman, I have a gift for you." And he goes "Oh, okay," because I assume he might get some handmade gifts, which are probably incredible, but I'm he probably gets a lot of random things. So as he's signing, he's looking down, saying "okay." I then pull the cigar box, sealed, out of the bag, place it upon the table in front of him. So when he looks up, he sees the box of cigars, and his face just like a kid on Christmas. I'm gonna add some photos here. If I'm talking to the photos, whatever. But he lights up. It was the coolest thing to see. Seeing that, it's just that giving, right? That's why I like to do all the giveaways and whatnot. I'm because I can't see the face, but I know they're probably lighting up. So the giveaway, I was just here. He picks it up, smile on his face, and goes he's like, "Do I get one? Do I get one or And he's like, "Do I just get one or how?" And then he picks it up. He looks at me and goes do I get not saying can I? He's question do I get the whole thing? And I'm like, Mr. Perlman, that's all yours. That's all for you. And he was just it was so great. Just seeing that kind of Hellboy smile. Oh, it was so great. Then he's like, I get the whole box. I'm like, absolutely. And then he goes, can I give you a hug? I'm like, what? Yes, bring it in, big man. Can I give you a hug? Yeah, all right, yeah, absolutely. Bring it in there, Papa. I was just like, that's incredible. Because I definitely watched. I paid attention to, like, he did not offer hugs to anybody else. Like, sure, if people say, like, can I give you a hug? He's like, all right. Or, like, can I take the photo? I'm like, but no, I saw. No, he didn't offer anybody else. So just, like, it was surreal. Because, like, you know, I think he's, like, 69. And it's incredible he's doing these shows. And I'm sure he signed, like, I don't know, probably, like, 400 or 500 autographs that day. So I think I was, like, number, like, 30 in line or 40 by the time he got to me. So it's exhausting, guys. These celebrities go through so much for just that, like, 1 minute interaction. I know for us it's game-changing. It's a lot for them, though. So, you know, keeping that positive, like, they may not, like, they're doing a lot. They're saying hi to everybody. It's hard, trust me. Not that I know or anything, but I mean, like, I see it. So, the photo evidence of Ron Perlman giving this man a hug made my show. And then I'm like, today can't get any better. Then Jock teaches this guy how to draw Batman. And by God, I think I did pretty good. I think I did. Photo right here. I think I didn't do terrible. But it was really great. What an interaction. Just the nicest chap. I look forward to seeing him again, comic sketch art again, and they were kind enough to offer me the opportunity to. I guess I didn't scare anybody off. I guess my crazy, you know, bearded fool self was just like, oh, hey, he's kind of cool. We should keep him around. Where they invited me back to San Diego Comic-Con to help out again this year. So I'll be helping just some A-list celebrities at San Diego Comic-Con. So that's super cool. Plus maybe Kevin Eastman. Plus maybe a couple others. You never know. Surprise, surprise, surprise. But I just wanted to just notate that just having Ron Perlman say, can I give you a hug? And he gave me, like, a big hug, like the pats on the back, and then, like, he shook my hand, looked me in the eye, and just, like, so thankful. And I was just, it's one of those things, man, where it's just, like, you know he probably gets that, like, he probably has, I don't know, he probably has, like, a bunch of that at home. And did it, like, was it anything crazy? No. I think the box cost me, like, $200 or something like that. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter. It just having that moment where, because, like, someone called me and said that, like, oh, man, was Ron Perlman a little grumpy? And I'm like, no, he was just the nicest man ever. He was like, can I give you a hug? And I'm like, absolutely, bring it in. It was crazy, guys. But just stuff like that where you can, it's just making that moment even more memorable, right? Like, sure, I could have just had it signed and moved on, right? But if I can do something that can make, like, it made a difference in my day. So I don't care that, like, whatever it costs, he could have given away, maybe he won't even use them. But for me, it was just something like, I want to do this because I want to just make this a moment. And it was epic. And hopefully I made a difference in his day. But just seeing his smile, as you saw in the photos, was just incredible. So doing that, having that moment, Ron Perlman, incredible. And then Jock taught me how to draw Batman. Get out of here. What a dumb life. And my wife hates when I say that too. But it is just the dumbest thing, and I am so grateful for all you. And that's it for this video, guys. This has been a long video, long-winded, but I had some stuff to talk about. And I will have more things to talk about coming very soon. So pay attention. Hawk, smash that like button. Make sure the subscription is on. And comment down below. Let me know. I've missed you guys very much. It's just been, I've been grinding really hard on Whatnot. Like I said, man, go down below, link in the bio. If you haven't subscribed yet, go check it out. It's incredible. I just passed 6,000 followers on the Whatnot platform, so that's incredible. And then hopefully 4,000 on this platform, and then maybe hopefully like 3,000 on the Instagram. But I truly look forward to seeing you guys very soon at any of these upcoming conventions and more in the YouTube comments and the more YouTube section. But truly, truly, I cannot thank you guys for everything. You are absolutely incredible humans for watching this. And I hope you have a terrific day. And like I said, I'm back, baby. Let's do this.